Oakland A's. And once again, as always, it's great to be with you. There is a salute to Dan out there beyond second base as we had just wonderful ceremonies, I thought, honoring Dan Wilson, his 12 years with the Seattle Mariners. And to you all, a very pleasant good evening, everybody. Dave Niehaus along with Ron. Fairly good to have you back in the booth. Red, what'd you think about the ceremony?
I tell you what, I enjoyed it very much. And of course, anytime you're involved with Dan Wilson, you're going to have a good time, and he's got a great sense of humor. But the thing that I remember about Dan was the game that he played in Detroit several years ago. He had 3 home runs in that ball game, and I mean, he was on cloud 9 after the ball game. What do you remember so much about that?
You always remember that inside the park home run over there.
He was out of gas when he got to the plate.
At the Kingdome. I always remember his character more than anything else, and perhaps the people here tonight got a piece of that in his speech about how much he appreciated being such a fabric of the community and a great fabric of the community. The Mariners are taking the field. It's the Mariners and the Oakland A's. We'll be back and have a look at tonight's starting lineups right after this timeout.
All right, losing team will have 2 suicides. Here we go.
Fielder leads it off, and you haven't missed a pitch. There's number 1, the breaking ball for a strike, and we are underway. Roof extended here this evening. And a ball and a strike to count on MKOtsay. Series all even at a game apiece. And the Mariners and the A's with the identical marks of 3 and 2 to get the new campaign started. Last night, outstanding pitching by Joe Blanton. 52 degrees at game time this evening. A ball and 2 strikes. Kotsay to be followed by Scudero, and then Bobby Crosby.
Yeah, there are a few guys in the lineup that have given Moyer a difficult time, and here's one of them right here, M.Kotsay.
There's a winner from last night. But Joe Blanton down there all bundled up. Yeah, McKotsay, a .583 hitter. 14 for 24 against Moyer. Just a little low on outside. The man doing the umpiring is Mike Riley. He's the crew chief. They're the other 3, Kellogg, Meals, and Fletcher. Inside ball 3, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And a fly ball lazily hit to Bloomquist, who's got the call out there in center field tonight. Let's check the rest of the lineup, Fred.
All right, let's take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the visiting Oakland A's. It'll be Kotsay, Scudero, Crosby, Chavez, Thomas, Bradley, Payton, Kendall, and then Johnson. And the Rico scouting report for J.Moyer. Yeah, he relies on his control and changing speed. He hasn't changed over the years. And by the way, he was 10-0 at Safeco Field last year. No decision so far this year.
Marco Scudero getting a call at second base tonight. Last night, it was a replacement at shortstop. Native of Venezuela. And you can see he, too, has had his way with Moyer. And Jamie has fallen behind. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, the 4 guys that really give him a difficult time, Kotsay, you mentioned that he hits a .583 hitter. Scudero, and then Eric Chavez, and then Frank Thomas. Crosby, or not Crosby, but Chavez and Thomas have hit 12 home runs off of him. 6 apiece.
There's the big guy. Frank back in the lineup again tonight. The number 5 hole for the A's. A cutter that time that misses low and in.
Yeah, kind of a typical J.Moyer start. I mean, being very, very cautious in the first inning or so. Seems like he's done that just about every outing we've seen in the last 3 or 4 years.
Right to the second baseman, Jose Lopez. Hit hard.
Well, let's take a look at the defensive alignment behind Moyer this evening. And it'll be Ibanez, Bloomquist out in center field, Ichiro, of course, in right field. Then around the infield, Beltre, Betancourt, Lopez. Sexton at first base, J.Moyer behind the plate. And up there in the mound, J.Moyer making his second start. No decision against the Angels. He threw 80 pitches his last outing. He went 6 2/3 innings.
Bobby Crosby back in the lineup for the first time since opening night against the Yankees. That bruised left hand of his. Change away. Ball 2 balls and no strikes to Crosby.
Big guy for a shortstop. He's getting close to the Cal Ripken mode, being that large.
That just misses low. So again, a 3-1 count on a hitter. Line drive, one hop, knocked him down, but up comes Betancourt, popping up to throw him out. Yuniesky Betancourt, the magician. Mandrake does it one more time on a one-hop screamer that knocked him down. He throws him out, and the A's are gone in order.
You are now free to dip your toes in the ocean.
Ding!
Ding!
You are now free to see an old friend.
To forget what traffic sounds like.
Free to find your favorite state flower.
Ding! Ding!
That ding is just cracking me up.
You are now.
.com. Ichiro to lead it off against Big B.Zito, who had his shortest outing in his career opening night in Oakland against the New York Yankees. Only an inning and a third. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Did not give up a run in the first inning, but boy, did he struggle in the second. And he has been poisoned against the Mariners. The Mariners have never beaten Zito in Oakland. They've beaten him twice here, but he has a 9-2 mark against them. And Zito will be a free agent at the end of the year. So this is a year he'd like to have a monster year. Of course, former winner of the Cy Young Award.
And he's working a little faster than what we have seen him. Maybe they try to speed him up just a little bit after that bad outing.
Ichiro walks away from a strike. He was moving out of there. 2-2.
Got that great big curveball. You can't give up on that one.
Down the left field line and into foul territory and into about the second row of seats.
All right, let's take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Mariners tonight. It'll be Ichiro, Lopez, Ibanez, Sexton, Beltre, Everett, J.Moyer, Bloomquist out in center field, Betancourt at shortstop. And Raul last night had a good night, extended his hitting streak to 5 games.
There's that curveball, and he pops it up. Jay Payton just walking under the ball, so 1 down.
And let's take a look at the Rico scouting report for B.Zito. His fastball is right around 86 to 91 miles an hour. He has a big curveball. You can't give up on that. Great big. One of the better curveballs in the league. And as Dave mentioned, he's coming off his worst outing. He went just 1 1/3 innings against the Yankees. And I think he's anxious to get back into the win column.
Lopez, can of corn this time, and right hand into the air. M.Kotsay gets over under for the out.
Mariners ran into some really good pitching in last night. Joe Blanton, boy, did he have a good night, and he started most of the hitters off with strike 1. In fact, the note I had on him last night, 17 of the 26 batters that he faced, he went strike 1. 17 to 25. He went strike 1 on.
Ibanez one of Dan Wilson's closest friends. Quite touched by the ceremony tonight. Two strikes on Raul.
You know, whenever you have a pitcher out there in the mound that starts to work fast and swing strike after strike, good thing to do is step out of the batter's box, break up his timing, make him take more time between pitches. See if that helps.
And there it is, the big jug.
There aren't very many guys in the league that have as big a curveball as B.Zito. That's why you say you have to stay with it. Sometimes if you think the curveball is going to be high, and if you give up on it, it'll drop into the strike zone for a strike. So that's what I meant by can't give up on it too soon.
Fastball that time, down and in. Up and in. A couple of clubs off to fabulous starts. The Milwaukee Brewers, their best start in 19 years, as they are 5-0. They win today 5-4. And the Detroit Tigers trying to go 6-0 tonight, leading Texas 5-0 in the 6th inning.
How about the Tigers and all the home runs they've been hitting? Thought the Rangers improved their pitching, though.
And a high pop into left field. And Jay Payton will make the catch. We're losing Adam Eaton for a couple of months. A big blow to the Texas Rangers in the pitching department. 3 up and 3 down, no score after 1.
I've been shopping at Grove.
Friday, April 21st, the Mariners begin a weekend series with the Detroit Tigers, and the first 25,000 fans are going to take home a collectible bobblehead featuring Ichiro, courtesy of FSN. For tickets, you can visit SeattleMariners.com. Eric Chavez, did he go around? He did not. Ball 1. A real pain in the neck for Moyer is Eric Chavez. A half a dozen home runs against him. Not this time. Sexton, easy play over there.
Well, certainly one of the keys in the game tonight for the Mariners and J.Moyer, and that is how well does he do against Eric Chavez and Frank Thomas? Because as you pointed out, each of these guys have hit a half a dozen home runs off of Jamie. Chavez a .339 hitter, Frank Thomas a .421 hitter, and you can't overlook Scudero and then M.Kotsay either.
Here is the big guy, Thomas. Right at the knees, 1-1.
Here you look at some of the career numbers for Jamie Moyer, and some of them are really staggering. And here's a guy that doesn't throw that hard. He has excellent control, everybody knows that. But this is his 540th career appearance in the major leagues, and his 487th career start.
One chase. Thomas just doesn't look right in that A's uniform.
No, it's going to take a while to get used to the big guy in the different colors and everything. But I will say one thing. He looked like he's a little closer to the plate than he was when he's wearing the White Sox uniform. Closer to the plate.
And that just barely drifted outside ball 3. Welcome to our friends north of the border, joining us in Canada on Sportsnet Pacific. Great to have you with us again.
You can see from the overhead shot, Frank has always stood in the back line of the batter's box, but he is closer to the plate. He was further off the plate the last few years because he wanted that ball that so many teams pitch him inside. But you look at him right now, and it looks like he's a lot lighter. It looks like he's in very good shape. So maybe if he's in a little bit better shape, maybe he's a little quicker on that pitch that's right in on the belt.
He went, tried to hold up and couldn't do it.
That's where everybody likes to pitch Frank Thomas. You pitch him in there, he has a difficult time handling that pitch. That's why everybody just kind of lives in there. And even J.Moyer throwing that pitch in there, and he's not overpowering, but he managed to get one in there. And that's strikeout number 1.
And here's the switch hitter Milton Bradley up there from the right side. Right up the middle. So there's the first base hit of the ball game. And Jay Payton will be the hitter.
Has not had that many at bats against Moore. You can see he was just 2 for 6.
Don't believe the A's are going to run. They never do.
Rarely do they. Although they had a stolen base last night. The guy that's at first base, Milton Bradley, has their only stolen base of the year thus far. They wait for the guys at the plate to do the damage.
And that's a foul ball. Beltre, after being hit on the hand last night by that throw by the shortstop, was iffy on the wrist, actually, about to getting in the lineup tonight, but he's fine. That right wrist, there it is, heavily taped. It was heavily taped last night. Probably helped him being badly hurt.
Yeah, hurt even worse. But it's good to keep in the lineup. Played 156 games last year. Need that guy in the lineup every day.
And there he goes again. This time he's going to be out. Right on the shoulder as Kenji Jojima nails him. So here in the second, no runs, a hit, and no body left. We go to the bottom half of inning number 2. No score.
The all-new Chevy Tahoe has best-in-class standard horsepower. But did you know it's also best-in-class in overall fuel economy? And you can't get this combination of standard safety features on Toyota Sequoia or Nissan Armada. Come in and see the all-new, more capable, more refined 2007 Tahoe with the best combination of power and fuel efficiency.
In April of 1994, there's Reggie Jefferson around third, and for Dan Wilson, that was his first major league hit with the Mariners. Richie Sexton takes inside, 1-0. How'd you like that ovation for Lou?
Well, he's still a favorite. I mean, Lou's a favorite every town he goes into.
Hope Lou drops by a little bit later on.
So we can't get him up here and
2-0.
Have some fun with him.
Lou's going to be doing some work for Fox, I believe. Nationally, that's a full foul down the third baseline. Says there he is with Chuck Armstrong enjoying himself.
Kind of funny, we asked him when he came up the radio booth prior to the ball game. So you notice any difference? He says, yeah. He says, when the game's over, I go home. And he says, I don't think about the lineup and how they played that night. I can go to sleep. It didn't make me not tough at all to go to sleep.
High change up, and it's hammered to deep center field, and that baby's gonna be dropped out there by Kotsay. He had it, but dropped the ball. Richie Sexton got a high change up and just tattooed it.
Look at it one more time. Richie Sexton last year with 36 doubles, one shy of his personal record. Comes up with another one there, but that was almost a fabulous catch by Kotsay.
Yeah, right off
second.
the tip of his glove and then into the wall. So here's Beltre now.
It's Richie's second double of the year. Tell you what the Mariners have been doing here in the first homestand anyway. They have been scoring early in the game. Forget about last night. They just ran into a buzzsaw with Blanton. But prior to that, every one of those games that the Mariners scored early, and they also did one other thing, and that they were able to add a couple of 2 or 3 runs late in the ball game. Let's see if they can do that again tonight. Beltre needs 3 more RBIs for 600 in his career. Not seen Zito throw very many of those big, slow curveballs.
There's one off the shin guard of Jason Kendall. So that'll be a wild pitch. Sexton moves on down to third base.
Looked like he tried to throw that one a little extra, put a little extra on it, throw a hard curveball up there, and he ends up bouncing it.
And even though it's a second inning, the A's infield cheating in now with nobody out.
Well, when you look at Moyer, I mean, he's won 17 times against the A's. Both these pitchers have pitched well against each other. You mentioned that Zito, a 9-game winner against the Mariners.
That one got him. Ate him up inside. And the first homestand comes to an end tomorrow afternoon when Joel Pinheiro gets his second start against Rich Harden.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Pinheiro pitched very well in his outing, and this guy right here, I'll tell you what, he has as good a stuff as anyone on that A's staff. I mean, he has an excellent arm, an outstanding arm.
There's a big curveball to Everett.
Yeah. Notice Everett that time, Dave, hitting flat footers. He did not stride. He'll do that every now and then, especially when he gets down to 2 strikes. See what he does here. Look, he's a little bit more spread out right-handed. And his feet a little bit farther apart. No stride. Paul Molitor did that for a number of years and so successful. Jim Edmonds of the Cardinals does it. There are a few guys that are adopting that particular approach, and it's not a bad idea. I mean, after all, right now you're just looking for a base hit.
Wide open as ever.
Yeah, but look at it, no stride.
Two and two. Curveball. a little bit low and outside. Straight change that time. Count has run out.
Still have to have that mental discipline up there at the plate. Everett's going to stay with that wide open stance, flat-footed swing.
And
straight changeup.
Struck him out. So with a runner at third, nobody out. Now the old bugaboo, runner at third with 2 down, and the Mariners need a base hit. Sunday home games at Safeco Field. Big savings for you seniors, leisure care, and the Mariners are proud to once again bring you Senior Sundays. That's tomorrow. All of you reserve tickets are just $10 for seniors age 60 and older. So come on and watch the Mariners. They wrap up this series with the A's. For tickets, visit SeattleMariners.com. Jojima with a 4-game hitting streak snapped last night by Joe Blanton. Too far inside, a different Zito than the A's saw Monday at the Coliseum against the Yankees. Gave up 7 runs in an inning and a third and 59 pitches. Here he's thrown only 35. Another changeup. Straight change.
Well, he has basically 4 pitches. He's got a fastball, a cutter, that big curveball, and a straight changeup. You really don't need any more pitches than that.
And Chavez is going to throw him out. And Zito gets the job done here in the second inning. Runner left 90 feet away from the pay station. No score after 2.
I was alone, I took a ride, I didn't know what I'd find. Then I suddenly see you. Did I tell you I need you every single day of my life?
Quest and DirecTV service. Bundle them together and bring more life into your life while you save. Call 1-888-INTO-LIFE. That's our spirit of service.
Stan, I love the smell of Ricoh printers in the morning.
You do you?
It smells like dependability.
So now you can smell dependability, Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
That's good to know.
Move your ideas forward with Ricoh Dependability.
Isn't it about time for an upgrade? Take advantage of the Acura upgrade opportunity and experience satellite-linked voice-activated technology and special 2.9% APR financing.
15 seconds to forward. 15 seconds to go all in. The clock is ticking. The MansionPoker.net Speed Poker Championship premieres Sunday on FSN.
No scores. We move to the third inning of play, and a check of the Mariners calendar brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Mariners leave after the game tomorrow, head to Cleveland and to Boston next week. They'll have a 4-game series against the Red Sox. This is Jay Payton, the left fielder. Payton up there when Bradley was thrown out at second base, trying to steal.
There are a lot of hitters that will take the fastball from Moyer. They wait for that off-speed pitch.
Nice easy comebacker. 1 down.
See, the first pitch of the first strike, that he threw to Payton was a fastball in, and Payton didn't even offer at it. And that pretty much told Moyer that they're going to be looking for the off-speed pitch. So he came back with another fastball, maybe a cutter right in on his hands, and that jammed Payton. So that's where Moyer is so crafty out there on the mound. He watches when he makes a pitch. He watches the reaction of the hitter.
Down low to Jason Kendall.
And quite often the reaction of the hitter will tell Moyer what he's thinking.
Anthony's. One-two. Kendall only 1 for 10 out of the gate. The man who's really struggling getting started is on deck, Dan Johnson. Johnson doesn't have a hit in 16 tries so far. There he is. How long is it before it starts working on you?
I think it's working now. Over here we are. I mean, this is game 6 of the season. And you don't have a base knock yet.
And another comebacker rolled right on the ground. Moyer has his second consecutive assist. And here he is.
Surely got to me by the second or third game. If I didn't have a hit after 2 games, I just used to say, am I ever going to get a hit again? Am I going to go through the season and never get a hit?
No, because you wouldn't make it through the season.
Get me out of there.
That's right.
Get me somewhere else.
Yeah. A little outside to Dan.
Out of the University of Nebraska. 6'2", 223. Pretty good sized lad.
On the inside corner. And a fly ball. It should be no problem for Willie. And it isn't. So here in the 3rd inning, no problem for Mr. Moyer. The story 1-2-3 and no score as we go to the home half of inning 3.
Silly little fairy.
Oh! Introducing the all-new Dodge Caliber. It's anything but cute.
You are the purpose of our work.
The reason.
The reason we run.
The reason we serve.
We will treat you with respect.
Like our family and friends. Because you
Have feelings and emotions.
We are dependent.
Dependent on you.
The lifeblood.
The lifeblood.
the lifeblood.
Of our company.
We will treat you like our business depends on it.
Because it does.
Because it does.
Because it does.
Champagne, gentlemen.
Don't worry, I got us covered.
What is that?
It's a Coors Light cooler box. 18 plastic bottles and a ready-made cooler. All we need is ice. Genius.
The Go Anywhere Coors Light Cooler Box. Just add ice and enjoy.
To the bride.
Coors Light. Taste the cold.
On an all-new CMI with Chris Myers, Ben Roethlisberger reveals how his Super Bowl vow brought back the buzz.
I promised that I would get him to a Super Bowl in his hometown of Detroit.
Ben Roethlisberger on the Chris Myers interview Sunday on FSN.
Moving into the bottom half of the third inning of play, and Dan Wilson farewell night. Dan Wilson, this and inside the park home runs at the Kingdome against the Detroit Tigers. However, this was not the inside the park grand slam home run, but slide, Dan. Attaboy. I always think he's not going to make it every time I watch that.
Seems like it's getting closer and closer at the moment.
Want to know the count on Willie Bloomquist leading it off here in the third. Tigers have added a couple more and have a 7-0 cushion over the Texas Rangers in the seventh inning. Zito's high fastball is hit to left field, and Peyton hardly has to move. So one away. Reserve your seat for 16 great matchups this season, at least with the Mariners' 16 game plan. Get all the benefits of being a season ticket holder, including big savings on the single game ticket price. For a list of packages and benefits, you visit SeattleMariners.com/season tickets. Uni. Betancourt takes a little up.
First time he has faced Zito. Betancourt's hitting 3 of the first 5 games. See what he averages this season. He's driven in 3.
There's a spinner or a strike.
Gave up on that curveball.
Fastball got in his kitchen. And Dan Johnson with the easy catch.
Dave, I have a feeling that Ichiro is going to have a good year home run wise. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. How many did he hit last year? He had 15 last year? I think he did. Something like that. Check real quick. Yeah, 15 home runs last year. Bet you hit 20 this year. Just watching him the way he's taking batting practice and the approach he's taking up to the plate, I just think he's going to hit a few. It's been amazing since he has joined the ball club, since he's played over here in the U.S. 5 straight years of 200 or more hits, 5 straight years of scoring over 100 runs. A little tough to improve on those numbers.
Yankees continue their series in Anaheim. The Yankees have won only 1 game on this first West Coast swing for them. That was opening night against the A's. They got beat last time by the Angels.
Yeah, but $200 million doesn't quite get what it used to. What is their payroll? Right around that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cleveland wins again. Boy, the Indians got a good ball club.
They do.
We'll see them, and we'll see one of the better pitchers. Cliff Lee on Tuesday night against Jared Washburn.
The left-hander.
Yep.
He has a good cutter, good slider.
Curveball and an easy 2-hopper. Scudero's got him. And here in the third, 3 up and 3 down. And as we go to the fourth, second time through the lineup for Moyer, no score.
Do you want to?
I think it's 1.
Here is Kotsay, and Kotsay a towering high fly ball to Ichiro in right field, and Ichiro just turns around and watches this baby go well back into the stands, and it's 1-0 Oakland. First pitch to him.
Yeah, that's one of the guys that we said he's hit very well against Moyer. Coming in the game, a .583 hitter. That's the first home run that Kotsay ever has hit against Jamie Moyer. And take a look at it again. No doubt about it. I mean, that was thigh high from the middle plate in, and Kotsay put a good charge in it.
So the A's with an early 1-0 lead, and Scudero will be the hitter. Off to a good start. On this Dan Wilson farewell night, very nice crowd. I say 37,000, something like that. And won the count now on Marco Scudero.
Well, the one thing that Moyer has been able to do over the years, man, is give you a lot of innings and a lot of wins. No question about that. A lot of innings pitched.
And that's going to get into the corner and go down for extra bases, as Ichiro will play the carom. Scudero is at second base, so 2 straight hits, a home run, and now the double. And Bobby Crosby will be the hitter.
Well, he said Kotsay, Scudero, Chavez, and Thomas are the ones that give Jamie the most trouble. Well, Kotsay has homered, now Scudero's doubled. But it's interesting that when you have guys that do give you a rough time, it seems like you have a difficult time making a good pitch to them. You always give them 1 or 2 good pitches in at bat for them to hit. And then there are other guys that come up the plate, and you just seem like you always make good pitches to them.
Bobby Crosby, Rookie of the Year in the American League a couple of years ago. That's a strike on the inside corner. The A's have had 6 Rookies of the Year, including last year. Houston Street was the American League Rookie of the Year. Jose Canseco won it in '86, McGuire in '87, Walt Weiss in '88, Ben Grieve in '98, and Bobby Crosby, as we mentioned, in '04. Ben Grieve's no longer in baseball. I was talking to his dad, who's a broadcaster for the Texas Rangers, and he's hung him up.
Well, he had a couple of injuries and then just never able to come back after that.
Dirt, 1 and 2.
How many pitches has Jamie thrown?
51, our Northwest Dodge dealers pitch count. And that gets away from Jojima, so a wild pitch. And let's see if the Mariners bring the infield in. They will.
I would imagine they're going to. You just can't give B.Zito too much of a cushion on which to work. So you better bring the infield in and try to cut that run off the plate if you can.
Good job keeping that ball in front of him.
You know, earlier this afternoon, walking down there near the clubhouse, and in one of the coaches, the old coaches room, they had Jojima and all the coaches in there, and they were talking about how they wanted to pitch to all the A's. Every day they have that meeting.
Got him.
Got him with a changeup. Good pitch by Jamie. Second strikeout. Boy, he gets you looking for that fastball, and then all of a sudden he pulls the string and takes even more off of it. And now you got trouble coming to play.
There's Chavez. After the game, FSN Live, as Bill Kruger is going to join us to break down the results from Safeco Field here tonight. Plus tonight at 10, Trailblazers action from Utah, and the latest from the Masters. Had some weather problems down there today. It was wet most of the day. Got a very late start.
Yep. Yeah, a bunch of those guys are going to have to play almost 36 holes tomorrow.
Doing all on Chavez.
Talk about the fact that Eric Chavez has won 5 straight Gold Gloves. Quite an accomplishment. Had a third baseman down there many years ago that was pretty good in the American League. Guy by the name of Brooks Robinson. Brooks, he only won 16 Gold Gloves.
I knew they were greenlighting in 3-0. They used to have a pretty good third baseman in Oakland too, by the name of Carney Langston.
You're absolutely right. Carney was an excellent third baseman. A very, very good ball player. Very much of a good clutch hitter too. I remember when Carney came up with the Angels.
That's Scudero. One down over at third base. Oh, he was on his way to first base.
Yeah, look at that pitch by Moyer. Down low and outside. You're not going to make a better pitch than that by Moyer. Take a look at that last pitch. Change up down low and away. Yeah. It was high enough and caught the corner. Now what do you do?
Ground ball up the middle with the infield in. So that'll pick up Scudero. Well, Lopez didn't have a shot.
No, they really didn't have a chance to make a play there. Well, we were talking about Chavez hitting more home runs against the Mariners than any other team. Now with that RBI right there, he has tied the Texas Rangers. He's driven 76 runs against the Rangers and 76 runs against the Mariners. And here's trouble. Just looking at that big man right there, when he gets in the batter's box, he fills it up. Big and strong. Stands back in the batter's box, very much like Edgar Martinez. Edgar used to stand back as deep as you can get, maybe not even in the batter's box.
Inside target. Inside, too far inside. And one. On play.
Something a little bit unusual for J.Moyer. He's had 7 3-ball counts in the game tonight. That's not like Jamie. And I think what it really is and what it means is that the respect that Jamie has for the hitters up and down this A's lineup.
number to the right side, and Moyer's only play right there in space. As Chavez ends up at second. The second out in the inning for Milton Bradley.
And Jamie did not have a chance with the runner down at second.
4:30 on Tuesday. Washburn against Lee. Wednesday, Gilmesh and Paul Bird. And Felix Hernandez. That's probably going to change. I think Sabathia is hurt.
Seems to me
that's going to be Jason Johnson on on Thursday. Yes. Off the inside corner that time.
And another 3-ball count. That is 4 batters in a row that Jamie has had a 3-ball count on.
And 28 pitches for Moyer here in the 4th inning. Joe Payton on deck.
Pop up.
Joe Jima got it. So a 30-pitch inning for Jamie Moyer. Solo home run. One more run. The A's get 2 and lead it 2-0.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
Angels with him making the head. They said that he had no chance to make the team in spring. And yet here he is.
Good one. I venture to say there's not a Major League Baseball player, I could be dead wrong on this, that hasn't at one time during his formative years pitched.
Oh yeah, generally well, I would agree with that. They all pitched.
And an easy play for Bobby Crosby.
I mean, if you're going through Little League, I mean, there were signs there that guys that are in the major leagues were some of the better players in the team. And of course, if you're a better player in the Little League team, where else are they going to put you? Put you out there on the mound.
So Zito is back on track after a rough start. Strike one, 1-1.
Yeah, he has settled down. We had his pitch total there just a second ago, but the Mariners really haven't done much. They only have the 1 hit.
And Scudero has got it. Time now for the trivia answer. Can you name the 5 oldest players on opening day rosters? One guy's with the New York Mets, and he signed a 2-year contract this year, Red. Look at that, Julio Franco. Then Jamie Moyer, Jeff Facero, who had an opening day start here for the Mariners. Terry Mulholland also pitched for the Mariners. 4 of the 5 guys played for the Mariners.
Terry Mulholland, it just proves one thing. If you're a left-hander and you can get the ball over the plate, you're going to have a job.
Big unit, too, and big unit's pitching tonight for the Yankees. Slow breaking ball, a beauty to Richie Sexton. And Derek Jeter's home run has the Yankees up 1-0 in the first inning. Count. Tigers 7-0 over Texas in the ninth. And Chavez has to lean back a little bit to make that catch, but he does make the catch to retire their side. Zero's mounting up on the Mariners now. It's 15 innings in a row in which they haven't scored. So after 4, 2-0. Hey. Into the 5th inning in a banner bank building note to the future. A kid that had fine spring training, having a good start at Tacoma. Adam Jones 2 for 4 last night as the Rainiers beat Colorado Springs 10-2. A strike on Jay Payton. 2-0 here. The A's.
Yeah, Jones originally drafted as a shortstop. Now they have him out in center field, and I think Betancourt's going to run a lot of kids that are shortstops into different positions.
Toyasa Sopo drafted as a shortstop.
But they're good athletes, though. I mean, if you can play shortstop, chances are you can play any place on the field. Big thing is, how much are they going to hit? If you hit decently, they'll find a position for you, and those are good athletes. They're making it where you put them.
Michael Morris, a shortstop. Michael Garcia Parra, a shortstop. So the Mariners are deep in that position.
Well, even if you had to, you could put Bloomquist at shortstop. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. Mariners have a lot of players that can play that position. But I think Betancourt's going to be around for quite a while.
.76 of them for Jamie. Quite a few for nobody out in the 5th inning.
And that gets back to what we've been saying the first 2 or 3 games, that the A's are probably the most patient hitting team in the American League. They make you throw strikes, and they're not afraid to go deeper into the count. There's an old Mariner hitting coach, Gerald Perry.
Right in on the hands of Payton, and it broke his back.
Gerald was here for a while.
Gerald was here during the great year of 2001. Been with the Pirates the last few years.
Yep.
There's Lou. It's great to have him back in town. Gonna do some television work, and I said, hey, you got the itch, you know, and you want to get back? Not really, he says. I'm enjoying life. That's 3 strikeouts now for Moyer.
Take a look at the start of the ERA starters. Mariners have a very good ERA. By the way, that
look at that Detroit ERA, though. That's a full run. Less than either the Mariners or the Yankees.
Yeah, and it's going to go down because they shut out Texas tonight.
They were.
I think they did. Final.
Don't you on Jason Kendall?
I've got to think that the Oakland A's will get into the opponent's bullpen more often than any other team. Simply because they take a lot of pitches. They make you throw strikes. And since just about every staff and every pitcher in baseball today has a pitch count, I mean, you approach that 90 to 100 pitch count, then they think about going down to the bullpen. And the A's seem like they're always in somebody's bullpen. There it is, another base on ball. They had a bunch of them last night. Would they have 11 last night?
Yeah, but that's Moyer's first.
Yeah. Jamie doesn't walk very many guys. But here is where Jamie is good. If he gives up a base hit or if he walks someone, there's a good chance he can get a ground ball or a double play and get out of the inning. Jamie has always been very good at damage control.
Sure ball to Dan Johnson. And that's a strike on the outside corner. Dan Johnson would die, wouldn't he? Kenji Joe Jima, who doesn't speak that much English, all of a sudden he said to him, "Think you'll ever get a hit?" Drive him crazy with it.
Oh.
He's 0 for 17. Back up the middle.
There's your double play.
There's 1 and 2. 6-3, and here in the 5th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. 4.5 gone. 2-0 A's.
His first home run of the year. Oakland leads it 1-0 after a double by Marco Scutaro, and 1 out. Eric Chavez with a base hit past the pulled up infield to score Scutaro. And right now those are the only 2 runs of this ball game. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Hello again, everybody. Rick Reyes along with Ron Fairley and Red. Both these pitchers out there throwing a lot of strikes.
Well, they are. I mean, although they're struggling a little bit. Moyer with his command just a little bit. Not that much, but just a little bit. But B.Zito has been outstanding with his fastball, the location, his changeup. There's a breaking ball right there that's down below the knees.
Moyer using that changeup, Red, that circle change. B.Zito has been effective using that slow curveball. He got out of trouble in the bottom of the 2nd when the Mariners had Richie Sexton on at third base, nobody out, and couldn't score. Good to see this guy back in the lineup tonight. He came away with a bruised right wrist trying to break up a double play last night. The throw by Marco Scutaro hit Beltre in the right wrist.
Look at that changeup. That's as good a changeup you're going to see right there. So you have 2 pitchers tonight, Moyer and Zito.
Yeah.
Being very effective with their off-speed stuff.
Down and in for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beltre, Everett, and Jojima for the Mariners here in the 5th inning. Beltre 0 for 1, struck out in the 2nd. There's that big sweeping curveball. Zito throws ball 3. 3-2. Everett due up next.
Now Zito struck out Beltre the last time up with a fastball right into the belt.
Fastball, swing and a miss. It was up and out of the strike zone, chased it. And 1 out for the Mariners here in the 5th. Well, tomorrow NASCAR and Fox returns with the world's best drivers as defending champion Greg Biffle looks to take home the checkered flag for the second year in a row. The Samsung Radio Shack 500 tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning on Fox. One down for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Carl Everett, the designated hitter. Inside, ball 1. When Zito got to 2 strikes on Everett, Red, he went into that kind of Brett Boone stance. He really opened up, looking just to make contact with 2 strikes. Ended up striking out, fouled back by Everett, and the count is even at 1-1. Just trying to get Sexton home from third with less than 2 outs at the time.
I think he's used it every pitch that he's thrown. He has his feet farther apart. See how far apart the feet are, and no stride at all.
Fly ball into left field.
That's what he wanted to do the last time.
Peyton is there and makes the catch, so 2 outs for the Mariners here in the 5th inning. Let's see, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11 in a row retired by Barry Zito since Richie Sexton's doubled to straightaway center in the 2nd.
11 in a row and 13 to 14. The only guy to reach base, Sexton, when he doubled back in the 2nd inning.
Barry Zito had a little team meeting with himself out there. I'll have Mark the Bird Fidrich back in 1976. Fidrich with the Detroit Tigers.
Interesting story with J.Moyer. I asked him, I said, how did you become a catcher?
Big curve is up high. 1 ball and 1 strike on Kenji.
And he said in the town that he grew up, they had a very good pitcher, and he was the only one that could catch him.
You're the guy.
And so therefore you're a catcher.
Big curve again, stays up and away, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But when I was talking to him, he had a fielder's glove on. So I asked him another question. I said, if you were not a catcher, what position and what would you like to be? And he thought about it for a second. He said, I'd like to be the closer. So there's something about pitching and catching that really attracts him. But I thought that was kind of funny that he was the only guy that could catch that pitcher that they had the town in which he grew up.
Dan Wilson, when he played in the Cape Cod League, caught, and then in the 9th inning would go out to the mound and pitch. He was the closer and played on the same ball club in the Cape Cod League, a collegiate league, as Tim Salmon with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. He said he was a pretty good closer.
I wonder how many guys, and Dave mentioned this, how many guys in the major leagues somewhere along the line of their little league team pitched a game.
Hits him.
Got it.
Kenji J.Moyer hit by a pitch from Barry Zito, and Kenji's on at first base with 2 outs. That'll bring the tying run to the plate, and Willie Blomqvist. Kenji kind of stood there for a little while.
Look, there it is, and then got him, and then he just stood there. Well, obviously, it didn't hurt him. I mean, he's not even flinching. Maybe it hit that elbow pad.
Remember Steve Balboni of the Kansas City Royals and the Yankees? Big, burly first baseman.
Yes.
I remember one time he got hit with a pitch right in his rib cage, and he caught it right there. Gave the ball right to the catcher. And Willie Blomqvist is hit with a pitch. The first pitch from Zito to Blomqvist nicks Willie, so now the Mariners have runners at first and second with 2 outs. Tying runs are aboard. This one just grazes Willie Blomqvist.
Well, he's trying to pitch inside, and look at this. It just, yeah, you can see it didn't even hit Blomqvist. It hit the jersey.
Yeah. Tried to take off a button.
Yeah. Trying to come in on the hitters. And he's not doing that intentionally.
Nope.
There's no reason. I mean,
now with a 2-run lead.
Now with a 2-run lead. I mean,
team at second, Willie at first.
You know, if you're going to throw at somebody, there has to be a reason to throw at somebody. There are no reasons for this.
Here's shortstop Yunieski Betancourt. The inside corner at the belt, and it's 0-1.
Nope. Yeah, it's 0-1. You're right.
Breaking ball is fouled away at the plate. The count 0-2.
Just seems like to me, Ricky, that Barry Zito is working a little faster than we have seen.
He is.
And that might be, you know, his last outing got knocked around quite a bit. And now I think they try to quicken up the pace somewhat.
How about Joe Blanton last night for the A's? Got the ball through it. Betancourt fouls one away, and the count is still 0-2. I was talking with Ray Fossey, who does the games on radio and TV for Oakland. And he said not once did he shake off Jason Kendall last night. As a matter of fact, he went through the entire season last year without shaking off his catcher. There's a look at Ray Fosse on your left.
Yeah, well, that pretty much tells me that you have to study then the catcher. You don't have to study the pitcher. Study how the catcher likes to pitch to you.
Ground ball along the third base line, foul, and it's still 0-2 on Betancourt.
It's one of the things that you'll learn over the years is that you find out how many times during a game that the pitcher shakes off the catcher. And if he never shakes off the catcher, then the catcher's the one that you have to study.
I thought that was interesting. Went through the whole year without shaking off a catcher. And Fosse told me that Catfish Hunter was the same way. And Catfish told him one time, he says, Ray, why don't you shake me off? Ray said to Catfish, why don't you shake me off? He says, why should I? You know the hitters.
Yeah.
Just tell me where to throw it, what to throw.
Yeah, what to throw and where you want it. Thing is, Catfish can throw it where you want it to.
Oh. And strike 3 is called on Betancourt. That will end the inning. Another strikeout for B.Zito. And after 5, A's lead 2-0.
Beacon Plumbing of Kent, Washington is a customer of Banner Bank, and you might see their truck heading up to Bellingham to help another Banner customer, Smith Gardens, with their plumbing. Now, Smith Gardens delivers plants to Pacific Building Center in Blaine, run by Bob and Pam Christensen and their dog Dutchie. And every summer, Bob, Pam, and Dutchie head to the Tri-Cities to watch this hydroplane sponsored by, you guessed it, Beacon Plumbing. It just goes to show that we're all in some way connected to the same bank.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
The taste of love is sweet.
Tell me you don't love me.
I love you.
Come on, baby.
Baby, 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 baby.
What's with the black? Looks like you're going to a funeral. Maybe I am.
Winner, Best Picture, Walk the Line.
MLB Extra Innings from DirecTV. Over 1,600 games of Major League action. Thanks up to 60 games a week for a price you won't believe. We're talking every hit.
That ball is gone.
Every catch. Every play.
Yeah, baby!
It's the most Major League Baseball you can get. MLB Extra Innings from DirecTV. To order, visit directtv.com or call 1-800-GET-SPORTS.
FSN Pride Fighting Special, Sunday.
Seattle Mariners Baseball and FSN is brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work. By Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking. By Miller Genuine Draft. Enjoy the golden rich flavor of Miller Genuine Draft. It's beer grown up. And by your Western Washington Toyota dealers. Toyota, moving you forward. Along with Ron Fairley, I'm Rick Riz. Our associate director up here, Robbie Nielsen. The guys down in the truck giving you the pictures of tonight's game. Here at Safeco Field, top half of the 6th. A's lead by a score of 2-0. M.Kotsay, who homered leading off the top of the 4th, leads off the 6th with strike 1 from Jamie. Kotsay jumped on the first pitch from Moyer and belted it way back to right field, his first home run of the year. This one off the end of the bat, foul, and it's 0-2. Jamie's ready to go. Doesn't waste any time between pitches. You better be ready to hit, because Jamie's ready to pitch.
Well, I think the reason for that is that he has a good idea as to how he wants to work to every hitter that's up there.
Line drive, center field. Willie Blomqvist diving for that ball, and it gets on by. Kotsay rounding second. He's going to make it to third base. Backing up on the play is Ichiro. Gets a throw in. I don't think Willie had a chance to make that catch.
No,
but he gave it a try with a dive.
The only trouble is, well, again, that ends up with the triple. If you know that you can't catch the ball, then you go ahead and give the guy the single and hold him to first base rather than to dive and then have that ball get by you and then allow that leadoff man to get to third base.
Some point during that dive, he was trying to just get a glove on it to see if he could knock it down. But with Kotsay on at third base and nobody out, that brings up Scooter on the infield, is back up the middle.
I think that's a little bit of the infielder mentality coming out of Bloomquist there. Dive for the ball. There's somebody behind you that can go and get it. But if you're in the outfield, that ball gets by you. Don't lay on the ground. Get up and go get it. There's nobody nobody behind you.
Long run for Ichiro.
Yep.
0-1 on Scutaro, who has 2 triples and a double now in this series. Ground ball to the shortstop. A run's going to score. Betancourt's throw to first is in time to get Scutaro. As Kotsay is able to score, the A's have taken a 3-0 lead. So give Scutaro a run batted in. 1 out, 1 in here in the 6th. Well, on Monday, April the 24th, the Mariners open up a 3-game set with the World Series champion Chicago White Sox. Watch Ichiro, Richie, the Mariners battle Jim Thome, Paul Konerko, and the Sox. The series continues through Wednesday the 26th. For tickets to these and exciting other games in April, visit any Mariners team store. Shortstop Bobby Crosby. Ball 1.
There's just an example right there. If Bloomquist holds him to the single, that double play, there was a double play ball hit, and you have 2 men out and no runs in versus 1 run in. But you can't really get on Rafael Soriano starting to loosen up down there in the bullpen. The effort and that Bloomquist made to try to get the ball.
Bobby Crosby robbed of a base hit his first time up. Another good change and a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2 on Crosby. And Moyer struck him out in the 4th. Crosby playing in only his 2nd game. He was injured opening day, covering second base on a steal. Robinson Cano, the Yankees, slid into his left hand and injured that index finger, which is still wrapped. Line drive left center field, and that's going to drop in. A base hit. Willie Bloomquist will play it on the hop, and Bobby Crosby is on at first base. 1 on, 1 away. 3-0 Oakland, top of the 6th. Moyer is at 97 pitches already. Very unusual to have that amount of pitches out of the strike zone for Jamie Moyer.
Well, we were talking about that earlier, and I still think it gets right back to the fact that we've said all along that the A's are a very patient hitting team, and they're not afraid to go deep in the count, and then those pitches start to mount up. I think one of the things that Jamie relies on is to get some of the hitters to chase pitches that are out of the strike zone. Well, if the A's aren't going to chase those pitches, then Moyer's pitch count's going to be higher.
Close to 100 pitches right now for Jamie. Chavez 1 for 2. He had a base hit to center field past the pulled up infield that scored Marco Scutaro in the 4th. 1-1. I'll make it 0-2 to Colin Chavez. 0-2. Next pitch will be Jamie's 100th. One and 2. Think about Jamie Moyer. If he does struggle early in the ball game like he did in his first game on opening day, he'll find a way to get you deeper into the ball game. He pitched into the 7th inning. He went 6 2/3 innings, giving the Mariners a chance to come back, which they did. A game the Angels eventually would win 5-4, but he went 6 2/3 innings.
But Rick, to me, that's a sign of a smart pitcher, of a pitcher, not somebody just goes out there and throws. I mean, there are days when Jamie says, okay, I'm not too good with a certain pitch today. So he'll figure out a different way to get you out. And to me, that's a sign of someone that knows what they're doing, a professional out there in the mound, that knows that you can't get all the hitters out the same way all the time. You're going to have to make some adjustments.
Jamie, I think, is a successful pitcher because he knows the success of hitting is timing, and he's able to mess up that timing. Using that changeup. Blown outside, ball 3. Full count 3-2. Coming up in the National League, he knows how tough it is to hit.
That's right. Yeah. Interesting note on Jamie also. This is his 300th start as a Seattle Mariner.
How about that? Coming over from the Boston Red Sox, July 30th, 1996 for Darren Bragg. Steve right 3 called to the outside corner. Eric Chavez caught looking. So J.Moyer with his 4th strikeout. 2 outs for the A's here in the 6th.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you make a good pitch right on the outside corner. And you can get out of a lot of jams. That'll bring the skipper out, and let's see what he has in mind here. Soriano, I'm sure, is warm down there in the bullpen. And does Hargrove want Jamie to go one more inning or one more batter?
Well, the batter is Frank Thomas, who's had a lot of success against Jamie, a .421 hitter. But tonight, he's 0 for 2 against Moyer. Jamie struck him out in the 2nd, and he bounced back to Jamie his 2nd time up in the 4th. And looks like he's going to go down and get the right-hander, Rafael Soriano. So runner at first, Bobby Crosby with 2 outs, 1 in. A's lead 3-0. We'll be back after this timeout.
The all-new Chevy Tahoe has best-in-class standard horsepower. But did you know it's also best-in-class in overall fuel economy? And you can't...
And buy Safeco Insurance. To find a local independent Safeco agent, visit Safeco.com. Tonight before the ball game, Dan Wilson farewell night, a special tribute to one of the great players in Mariner history. Before the ball game, we caught up with the big hurt Frank Thomas talking about tonight's honoree, Dan Wilson.
He was one catcher that gave me fits over the years. Just for some reason, just seems like when I'm looking outside, he was always pitching me in. When I was looking in, he was always pitching me away. Dan wasn't quite competitor, and he definitely knew how to pitch me.
Knew how to pitch a lot of guys, including that guy right there, the big hurt, Frank Thomas. The new pitcher for the Mariners, right-hander Rafael Soriano.
And Rafael coming in. He has appeared in a game earlier, and the game that he worked in was in the game 2. He came in and worked the 7th inning, and there are the numbers on him this season. Came in and worked an inning and did not give up any runs, a couple of hits, did not walk anybody, nor did he strike anybody out. And opponents batting just 167 against him, as you can see. And so this will be his 2nd appearance, and will be going against Big Hurt, and this will be a completely different look for Frank Thomas.
We're going to see about a 93, 94 mile an hour fastball with a good slider from Soriano, who had a great challenge and a great at bat against Vladimir Guerrero with the Angels in town, and he got him to pop up. And at the time in the 6th or 7th inning, he represented the tying run of the game. The pitch to Thomas up and away, ball 1. Frank, as we mentioned, 0 for 2. The A's lead 3-0 here in the top of the 6th. Bobby Crosby at first base. Ball 2, 2-0. J.Moyer goes 5 2/3 innings tonight. Gives up 3 runs, 6 hits, walked the batter, struck out 4. He's still responsible for Crosby at first. Ball 3. Contact for the A's, right fielder Milton Bradley. Down and away for ball 4. So he walks Frank Thomas on 4 straight pitches. The A's have runners at first and second. Crosby now down at second with 2 outs here in the 6th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. 2 on, 2 outs, a run in. Bradley single in the 2nd. There's a strike 0-1. He's also popped up to catcher Kenji Jojima.
Just by the way that Soriano was pitching to Frank Thomas, I don't think Soriano wanted much to do with Big Frank.
Walked him on 4. Swing and a miss at a fastball. 0-2 to Bradley.
That one at 92 miles an hour, and you can see that Soriano being a lot more aggressive to Milton Bradley than he was to Frank Thomas.
Runners at first and second. Thomas at first. Crosby down at second base. Fastball got him looking on the outside corner. Strikes out Bradley. That'll end the inning. But the A's pick up a run. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Oakland 3 and the Mariners nothing. To buy Hyatt Pontiac GMC truck in Tacoma. Zito has given up only one base hit. A Richie Sexton double. Ichiro trying to get something going. Low and outside. But ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Mariners had only 2 hits last night. Off the start of Joe Blanton and just 1 tonight. Fouled away. 2-1.
We were talking about Ichiro before you came over after 4.5 innings. But I think Ichiro is going to have a bigger year hitting home runs. Just by watching him hit this year, I just think he's thinking a little bit bigger. And I wouldn't be surprised if he hits 20 home runs.
He has 3 off of B.Zito. Fouled away down the left field side. And the count is 2-2 on Ichiro. 15 home runs last year. And when you watch him take BP, it's a lot of fun.
Well, he has
the ball.
Yeah, he has power. He hit a lot of home runs.
But his game is to hit the ball hard the other way, get on base, get his 200 base hits like that, but he fouls that one away, and the count is still 2-2 on Ichiro.
I think up to 2 strikes, we're going to see Ichiro look for a pitch that he can maybe hit one out. When he gets down to 2 strikes, like he is right now, you're going to see him hit up the ball up the middle and go the other way a lot, like we have seen him do so many times. He'll go into his base hit mode with 2 strikes.
Breaking ball is in the dirt, and a good stop by Kendall. Ball 3, full count.
Well, Ichiro's hitting 4 of the first 5 games. And you can see Lopez due up next.
Fouled away again down the left field line, and the count is still 3-2. Mariners 3-2 on the year. In those 3 wins, they scored 22 runs on 37 hits, including 3 home runs and 10 extra base hits. Fouled away again, and it's still 3-2 on Ichiro. Anything close to the plate, he'll fight off, foul away.
Well, Zito's thrown about 2 or 3 straight fastballs now. See if he didn't come back with a changeup.
And a pop up down the left field side and out of play, and it was an off-speed pitch. Still 3-2. Right now, a 9-pitch at bat for Ichiro, battling B.Zito. And a swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt for strike 3. Went after ball 4 and struck out. So 1 away. Well, welcome to the Coors Light 6th inning. Now it's time to refresh your inner fan. He's never been to the ballpark as a fan, but here he is tonight at Safeco Field as a fan. He came here as the manager of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and of course a manager for the Mariners, Lou Piniella. Welcome back to Seattle, Lou. Here's Jose Lopez. Ball 1 the count. Great to see Lou Piniella's going to be working some games on television this year.
He'll be working on the East Coast a lot. And surprisingly, they have him doing a lot of National League games.
1-1 the count on Lopez. Inside, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Lou talking about Dan Wilson prior to the ball game. I don't know how he told general manager Woody Woodward, who remembered the young kid in the Cincinnati Reds camp who the pitchers loved working with, and when he came over here he said, go get Dan Wilson, and the Mariners did. Turned out to be one of the best trades in Seattle history, acquiring Dan Wilson for Brett Boone and Eric Hansen.
That's right.
Ball 3, 3-1. When he eventually came back in 2001 and had a super year.
Boone came back and had some fabulous years for the Mariners.
Fouled away, and it's still 3-2. Mooney in 2001 had the 141 RBIs, 37 home runs. Hit over 330. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Kendall blocks it in the dirt. Now the toss to first base, and once again the Mariners going after a pitch out of the strike zone for strike 3.
Well, so far tonight, Zito has been able to get the Mariners to go a little bit bigger strike zone, and Moyer was unable to get the A's to bite.
6 strikeouts for B.Zito. Back-to-back Ks here in the 6th. 3-0 Oakland, and here's left fielder Raul Ibanez. Mariners with only 3 hits in the last 2 games. Ball 1. Raul has flied out to Payton and left. He's also grounded out to Scooter at second base. 1-1.
Zito was always just a fastball, curveball, changeup. But just a couple of years ago, he added that cutter to his repertoire.
The outside corner.
And I think that's helped him out quite a bit. That one more pitch the hitters are going to have to look for.
Inside ball 2, 2-2.
Now last pitch, a straight changeup. It's only 86 miles an hour. Took something off that pitch. You can get it up there in the low 90s.
Didn't go. The appeal down to the third base umpire, Andy Fletcher. Ball 3, full count. So Zito's been to a full count on the first 3 hitters. Ichiro Lopez and now Raul Ibanez, with Sexton due up next. 3-0 A's. Foul ball off to our right and out of play, and it's still 3-2. B.Zito, #1 draft pick by Oakland back in 1999 out of USC. Last remaining member of the Big Three. Remember Mulder and Hudson? Ground ball, slow roller to the second baseman Marco Scutaro, and that will retire the side. After 6 innings of play, the A's lead 3-0.
Tonight on FSN Live, it's one.
All year long, that's going to be a tremendous asset for the Mariners. The way he can rush it up the plate and that nasty slider that he has.
Pop up right side. Going back is Jose Lopez calling for it. And 1 out for the A's here in the 7th inning. Hey kids, if you're between the ages of 6 and 14, you can enter now to work behind the scenes as part of Boeing Salute to Kids Weekend coming up April the 22nd and the 23rd. The Mariners take on the Detroit Tigers. So stop by any Mariners team store to enter for your chance to go behind the scenes as a bat boy, DJ, video camera operator, and more. Maybe we'll see some of these kids back here on April the 22nd and the 23rd. How about the start for the Tigers this year?
What about Milwaukee?
Milwaukee as well. Tigers with a new manager in Jimmy Leland. As the fire back in his belly, it bent in, and Kendall hit by Soriano. Rafael Soriano nails Jason Kendall. 1 on, 1 away here in the top half of the 7th inning. B.Zito hit a couple of batters earlier tonight. No retaliation there, though. Not when you're down 3-0. You don't want to put base runners aboard. And Zito wasn't trying to hit anybody. Here's Dan Johnson, who is 0 for 2006. He's 0 for 2 tonight. 0 for 18 to start the year.
What a horrible way to start a season.
Popped up. Left side, calling for it, Adrian Beltre. Back pedals, and he's there to make the catch. 2 outs. Mike Flowers told me a funny story about Lou Piniella. Back in, I think, 94, 95, Mike would always get off to a slow start in April. This particular April was struggling the first few weeks of the season, wasn't getting many hits. He's up at home plate, Lou's in the dugout, and he goes, "Hey, Mike." And he thought I was calling time. He goes, "Oh, no, he's going to pinch hit for me. I'm already up here at home plate." Here is M.Kotsay, but a toss over to first base. And so Mike stepped out of the batter's box thinking he was going to get pinch hit for it, and Lou just said, "When are you going to get a hit?" "When are you going to get a hit?" And he said, "Right here, Lou." Well, it didn't happen. Mike said he grounded out. I think he said he grounded into a double play. But the one thing about Lou Piniella, he said he stayed with me. Sure did. Later on in the ball game, it was extra innings, and he was up there and got the game-winning hit. Lou believed in you. Fouled away by Kotsay.
I know he told one of the players, and I can't remember the player's name. He said, "This at bat, are you going to go up there and put a good swing on it, or are you going to swing lousy like you have the first 2 times out?"
Try to put the good swing on.
Yeah. Why don't you try your good swing once? See if that helps.
Kotsay has a couple of good swings tonight, with a home run, a triple, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Pitch out, and a throw to first. Kendall to second. Sexton throw to Betancourt. No, they missed him. Kendall was caught in between first and second. J.Moyer went down to Sexton. Kendall went down to second base. And the throw by Sexton and Betancourt just a little bit late.
And you can tell that he was trying that delayed steal, the shuffle, and then go. And that's exactly what he did. But J.Moyer threw the ball to first, and that allowed Kendall to get down to second base.
Up and away on Kotsay. 2-2.
That's where they do the delayed steal. When the pitcher goes late, you don't take off. You do a shuffle, and then go.
Fouled away by Kotsay, and the count is still 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, a lot of time that delayed steal works. When it doesn't work, you're thrown out by 20 feet, though. I mean, it's not even close down there at second base. But it worked here.
Fly ball into left field. Ibanez is there, and Raul makes the catch for out number 3. Fans will take their 7th inning stretch after 6.5. A's lead 3-0.
The all-new Chevy Tahoe has best-in-class standard horsepower. But did you know it's also best-in-class in overall fuel economy? And you can't get this combination of standard safety features on Toyota Sequoia or Nissan Armada. Come in and see the all-new, more capable, more refined 2007 Tahoe with the best combination of power and fuel efficiency in its class. Chevy, America's #1 brand, America's #1 value. See your Northwest Chevy dealer today or visit us online at northwestchevydealers.com.
Whether your business is just starting out, growing, or already in high gear, Quest has the products to help you succeed.
You were meant to be near me, and I want you to hear me.
Call to save with our flexible bundles. Combine products like high-speed internet with digital voice for just $103 a month. Just call 1-800-944-0164 to see how Quest can bring more life into your business. That's our spirit of service.
Pizza Hut's got everybody talking.
$5.
Because right now, when you order a medium or large pizza at menu price, you can get up to 5 more fully loaded mediums, each for just $5. Fully loaded, not a wimpy one topping like the other guys.
You got that right.
Gather around the good stuff.
Through April 18th at participating Western Washington Pizza Hut locations, you could win the chance to have your pizza delivered by the Sonics Dance Team. For official rules and an exclusive Sonics ticket offer, go to supersonics.com now.
At the John L. Scott Foundation, our priority is funding children's health care in every community we serve. To us, there's no greater need than having all kids get the best medical care. At John L. Scott Real Estate, we want to see them healthy and at home.
The John L. Scott Real Estate Foundation, making miracles happen.
And the Mariners' 7th inning stretch is brought to you by John L. Scott Real Estate, celebrating 75 years of serving the Northwest community. You'll feel right at home on johnlscott.com. Bottom of the 7th inning, the A's lead by a score of 3-0. The Mariners with only 1 hit tonight off the starter B.Zito. And now we have a pitching change. So Zito will go only 6, and he gives way to the right-hander, Kiko Calero.
And for Calero, this will be his 3rd appearance of the year, 2nd of the series. We saw him on the game on Thursday. He went 1 in the 3rd inning, did not give up any runs, and he allowed 1 hit. He walked 1, struck out 1. That was a game that came in the 6th inning and finished the inning. So Calero, making his 3rd appearance of the year, takes over for Zito. Zito went 6 innings, and he did not allow any runs, allowed only 1 hit. Did not walk anybody, and he struck out a half a dozen. Unofficially, we had him with 108 pitches.
So the only thing we can think of is that Zito is out of the game because he reached that pitch count.
Pitch count.
Managers and organizations like to keep the pitch count early in the year. Here is Richie Sexson to face new pitcher Kiko Calero. Only 1 hit, and Richie has it with a double to center, leading off the bottom of the 2nd. Center fielder M.Kotsay got some leather on it, but couldn't hang on as it hit off his glove, then off the wall. 405 feet from home plate. Fastball down and in. 1-1 on Richie. So Sexton 1 for 2. He's also popped up to 3rd baseman Eric Chavez. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball that was down, and it's 1-2 on Richie. Home run tonight for the A's off the bat of Kotsay. We have seen 14 home runs on this homestand. Mariners with 5. Way outside with a hard slider. Ball 2, 2-2. Mariners haven't scored a run the last 17 innings. Shutout last night by Joe Blanton, who was tremendous last night. A's winning 5-0. And a swing and a miss by Sexton for strike 3. 1 out. And Richie's saying something to home plate umpire Mike Riley. And here comes manager Mike Hargrove out of the dugout, and Sexton is upset with Riley.
I think he said he foul tipped the ball.
And let's take a look at it one more time.
Well, a little tough to tell there, but Richie said he felt like he foul tipped the ball. Of course, the ball was dropped by the catcher, but Sexton's not going to win that argument.
Beltre takes up and in for ball 1. Adrian 0 for 2, fanned a couple of times against B.Zito. One and one. In the air to right field and down the line. Milton Bradley gaining over, and Bradley is there near the seats to make the catch. So 2 outs for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Well, let's take a look at what's on deck, brought to you by McFarland Cascade. And what's on deck, final game of the 4-game series tomorrow here at Safeco Field. 1:05 start. It's going to be Joel Pinheiro against Rich Harden in game 4.
That should be an interesting matchup. Pinheiro coming off a very good outing in his first start, and Harden has probably the best stuff on their staff. So should be a very interesting matchup.
Come on by tomorrow afternoon. Carl Everett, the designated hitter. Fastball is up high for ball 1. Rich Harden is a young man from Victoria, British Columbia, so I'm sure some fans from north of the border will be here today. Family and friends of Rich Harden tomorrow afternoon. One and one. Calero has that little cutter, late breaking slider, got that little tail to it right at the very end.
A lot of pitchers are going with that cutter.
Up and away with it. Ball 2, 2-1.
I guess the guy that has as good a cutter, if not the best cutter ball has got to be Rivera of the Yankees. I mean, that's the only thing he throws.
Off-speed pitch is outside. Ball 3, 3-1. Mariners have had only 3 base runners tonight. The double by Sexton and the 2-hit banners, Jojima and Bloomquist, back-to-back in the 5th. That's been it. There's a look at Kenji on deck. 3-0 A's. And a swing and a miss. The pitch was up. Full count, 3-2.
Hitters always take a different cut on that 3-1 count. A lot of your better hitters get the bat out in front on that 3-1 count also.
Fouled away, and it's still 3-2 on Carl. Kiko Calero taking over in relief from B.Zito. Payoff pitch again. Line drive left field, but this one is at Jay Payton, who makes the catch for out number 3. And after 7, we go to the 8th, and the A's on top, 3-0.
Remember how great the last day of school was? That's what getting away on a Southwest Airlines fun fare feels like. These low fares to your favorite vacation spots coast to coast start at just $59. Book yours at southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
Silly little ferry.
Oh! Introducing the all-new Dodge Caliber. It's anything but cute.
Attention passengers. We are currently experiencing delays. We apologize for the inconvenience.
Grab the beer that starts out cold and ends up refreshing. Coors Light. Taste.
Top of the 8th inning, and second baseman Marco Scutaro leads it off for the A's. A's lead by a score of 3-0. Top part of the order doing a lot of damage tonight for Oakland. Kotsay in that leadoff spot, and this guy right here, Marco Scutaro, fouls one away, and it's 0-2 on Marco. Kotsay with 2 hits, a triple, a home run, 2 runs scored. Scutaro with 1 hit, a double, a run scored, and a run batted in with an infield out in the 6th.
Well, it's been the top part of the order that has done the damage for the A's tonight. Last night it was the bottom part of the lineup.
Pop up down the third base line. Beltre is there, and he's got it 1 away for the A's here in the 8th. Well, Chris Myers returns to FSN with the most intriguing and controversial names in sports. This week, Chris talks with Ben Roethlisberger. CMI, the Chris Myers interview, tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. on FSN. Seahawks and the Steelers in the Super Bowl. Seahawks should have won that game.
Well,
Steelers had a little extra help.
Well, yeah, the officiating wasn't
very good at all.
You're right.
As a matter of fact, it's Bobby Crosby, 1-0 the count on Crosby. He's 1 for 3 with a single.
Tell me what you really think.
It's strike 1, 1-1 on Crosby.
Yeah, there's a pitch right there for Sirianni. That slider. If he can get that over occasionally to go along with his fastball, he's going to be just fine.
1-1. Swinging a foul back. 1-2. Crosby still has that sore index finger bandaged up on that left hand. He suffered an opening day against the Yankees. Right there, keeps it off the bat as he gets his grip. the outside corner for Steve right 3. So Soriano strikes out Bobby Crosby looking. Second strikeout in relief for Rafael Soriano. Yankees Angels tied at 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. The only hit in the game, a Derek Jeter home run for New York. There's Eric Chavez. A's lead this one 3-0. 0-1 on Chavez, the count. Over 2 years ago, Soriano with the Tommy John surgery. Back big time. Ground ball right side, charging Jose Lopez. Jose makes the play to get Eric Chavez to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Mariners are still looking to get to the A's in their pitching staff. 3-0 Oakland.
I thought all those reports had to be done by noon.
That they do.
It's 11:50, Jerry.
That Rico MFP prints at 55 pages per minute. Job ready by 11:59.
11:59.
I like to push the envelope.
Uh-huh.
Move your ideas forward with Rico dependability. MLB Extra Innings from DirecTV. Over 1,600 games of Major League action. Thanks up to 60 games a week for a price you won't believe. We're talking every hit. That ball is gone. Every catch. Every play. Yeah, baby! It's the most Major League Baseball you can get. MLB Extra Innings from DirecTV. To order, visit directtv.com or call 1-800-GET-SPORTS.
NBA League Pass presents the race to the playoffs. Will the Spurs and Pistons continue to play towards a finals rematch? Can the Lakers follow their court leader back into prominence? The Heat have all the pieces to dominate the East, but the Cavaliers have a king to lead them to the playoffs. Heroes will rise as the playoffs approach. Don't miss a minute of live NBA action. Order NBA League Pass Race to the Playoffs from DirecTV for the lowest price of the season, just $49. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or visit directtv.com.
FLW Outdoors, tomorrow on FSN.
Seattle Mariners baseball and FSN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More flights to more places than ever before. Southwest is taking low fare further. Visit southwest.com. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by your Northwest Chevy dealers. See your local Chevy dealer today or visit us online at northwestchevydealers.com. Mariners looking for some offense. Only one hit tonight. As the A's lead by a score of 3-0, bottom of the 8th inning, and Kenji Jojima to lead it off against Kiko Calero. Hard slider down and away for ball 1. The only hit for the Mariners tonight. The leadoff double by Richie Sexson. Back in the 2nd inning, the Mariners mustered only 2 hits last night. Ground ball to 3rd. Right there is Eric Chavez. 1 away for the Mariners here in the 8th. Sends up center fielder Willie Bloomquist. Willie hit by a pitch his last time up. And he's also flied out to Peyton in left field. Great ceremony prior to the ball game tonight. Emotional to honor Dan Wilson. Spent 12 years in the major leagues with the Mariners. Dan Wilson farewell night. His name still out there behind second base. His number 6. Behind home plate right there. Dan, his wife, and 4 kids here at the ballpark. Some of his former players and coaches. Former manager Lou Piniella. Real nice ceremony. Fouled away behind home plate.
Well, Dan has been such a first-class individual anyway, and we've said that so many times. But you know, you're around him day in and day out during the course of 12 years during the season, and he remained very, very consistent.
One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in your life, let alone just baseball. You know, so much on the field and off the field.
You know, and you really test a guy and you find out more about the guy when he's struggling. And Dan never changed. I mean, he was the pleasant guy, regardless of what happened on the field. Went around too far, I guess. And to me, that was impressive, being around Dan. And he always had a good sense of humor.
Oh my goodness, cracked me up every time I
Yeah.
saw him. Every interview I did with Dan, at the end he would just always say, "Rick, it's always a pleasure." Every interview. Outside and off the glove of Kendall, ball 3, 3-2, but truly one of the class acts in the game of baseball.
Well, he gained a lot of confidence going out and working with the pitchers. The pitchers, I should say, gained confidence pitching to Dan.
Yeah.
And they were not afraid, as you pointed out, to bounce one up at the plate because they knew that Dan was going to block it. And that helped them keep the ball down. All those things added to the leadership.
And it's inside for ball 4, so the Mariners have a base runner here in the bottom of the 8th. The walk given up by Kiko Calero. Willie Blomquist is aboard with 1 away. 3-0 Oakland. The Mariners season ticket plan, folks, gives you a seat to call your own. Huge savings off single game ticket prices and the ability to tell your buddies you were there when Richie and Adrian went deep back-to-back. For a list of season ticket packages, including 16 game plans, visit SeattleMariners.com/season tickets.
Have a pinch hitter coming up the plate now. Joe Borchard is going to be batting for Bettencourt.
A lot of power right here in Joe Borchard. Time called. Here comes manager Ken Mock out of the A's dugout. Activity down in the bullpen. Borchard is a switch hitter, and a left-hander will take over in relief for the A's. A's lead by a score of 3-0. 1 on, 1 away. Bottom of the 8th. We'll be back after this timeout.
Hi, Randy here from Pro Golf. You know, if you're looking for new golf clubs, you've got to go to Pro, because at Pro Golf Discount right now, we're having our golf club blowout, where you'll find almost every golf club in our stores on sale. Come see all the newest clubs from Callaway, Nike, TaylorMade, and Ping, or take advantage of last year's closeout club deals. Whatever you need, whether it's a new Callaway oversized driver or a 2-ball putter, a TaylorMade rescue club, or a Cleveland wedge, you'll find them all on sale during the golf club blowout.
The all-new Chevy Tahoe has best-in-class standard horsepower. But did you know it's also best-in-class in overall fuel economy? And you can't get this combination of standard safety features on Toyota Sequoia or Nissan Armada. Come in and see the all-new, more capable, more refined 2007 Tahoe with the best combination of power and fuel efficiency in its class. Chevy, America's #1 brand, America's #1 value. See your Northwest Chevy dealer today or visit us online at northwestchevydealers.com.
Tulalip offers Washington's finest casino and best shopping, with over 100 stores in Seattle Premium Outlets and Quilceda Village. In addition to the most jackpots and cash back, in April you can win Visa gift cards. Each week, 5 winners get $500 for a total of $10,000. You can also win lifetime ownership of Marriott vacations at thousands of resorts worldwide. Come and enjoy all the beauty and excitement of Tulalip, Washington's finest casino and best shopping.
3-0 A's. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Runner at first and 1 out. Well, you've heard the experts and even memorized the stats. Now hear directly from the players and coaches their own views of the game, their own perspective, their own personal thoughts. In My Own Words, featuring Jeremy Reed. That airs on Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. on FSN. The new pitcher for Oakland, left-hander Joe Kennedy, to face pinch hitter Joe Borchard.
Kennedy's always seemed to pitch well against the Mariners. You look at the season numbers, this being his 3rd appearance, but lifetime 2-2 record, but an ERA at 1.80.
Borchard batting for Unieski Bettencourt. A swing and a foul back, and the count is 0-1. Borchard coming over from the Chicago White Sox toward the end of spring training for left-handed reliever Matt Thornton. As a pinch hitter, 5 for 10 with a home run. Hit 29 home runs last year at AAA Charlotte in the White Sox organization. Foul ball to third. Tricky hop handled by Eric Chavez down at second for 1. Relay to first. Not in time. Borchard getting up the line. Safe at first. They get Blomquist at second for the 2nd out of the inning. That wasn't an easy play for Eric Chavez.
No, it was like an in-between hop, and you can see he stayed in front of it, kind of caught it right in his belly, but still down to second base. Throw was not a real type of a throw that you could turn the double play well. Kind of down low and away to him. A little bit more accurate throw. They might have been able to turn the double play, but Borchard hustling down the line.
So Borchard on at first base with 2 outs for Ichiro. facing Kennedy. 0-1. He throws 0 for 3. Those 3 at bats against B.Zito, who went the first 6 innings, gave up only 1 hit. Kiko Calero went 1 1/3, and now Kennedy. 1-1.
Ichiro 4 for 14 against Kennedy.
Mariners looking for their second hit. 1-2. Ichiro backing away from that strike from Kennedy. Way outside, 2-2. Back-to-back nights. Great pitching by the Oakland A's. Blanton last night. On the bottom of the 8th, and the A's lead this one 3-0. Back up the middle, and it's caught by the shortstop, Bobby Crosby. The soft line drive the other way. That will end the inning. After 8, A's lead 3-0.
Now, I got to tell you, since I've been hurt and missing work, you've been a big help to this family. No, really. The cash we get from Aflac helps us maintain the house, put food on the table. And my Jenny continues with her piano lessons. Yep, this family's doing just fine. And it's all thanks to...
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
He's my friend, and I'm happy to say we like peas in a pod. We like it that way. We got a bucket of laughs. It's a gas, and he's my very best friend. He's my friend.
Perfect Fit Checking from Sterling Savings Bank. Designed to fit your life and your lifestyle perfectly. Choose from free to fully loaded and everything in between. Only from Sterling. The perfect fit bank.
Looking for a new Toyota? Visit Washington's #1 volume Toyota dealer, Michael's Toyota on Bellevue's Auto Row. Michael's Toyota, where it's all about you.
You're watching FSN Northwest.
Hi, everybody, from the FSN Live studios. I'm Matt Morrison. Coming up after the game, we'll have the best moments from Dan Wilson night at the ballpark, including a visit from Lou Piniella. We'll check in on Fred Couples' rain-shortened round at the Masters and what it means for tomorrow. Right now, though, it's back to Safeco Field where the Mariners need some magic in the ninth. Here's Ron Fairley and Rick Riggs.
All right, yes, indeed, Matt. We go to the top of the 9th inning. The A's lead by a score of 3-0. Scoring-wise in the game right now, all Oakland. M.Kotsay leading off the top of the 4th inning. First home run of the year on the first pitch of the inning from J.Moyer. A 1-0 Oakland lead. Marco Scutaro then doubled for Oakland. 1 out later, Eric Chavez ground ball past the pulled-up infield to score Scutaro. 2-0 Oakland.
Well, they came up with one more run on the triple by Kotsay. And then the infield out by Scutaro. That produced the 3rd run for the A's, and that's been the scoring thus far.
And
Mariners,
some changes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Now for the Mariners, Joe Borchard, a pinch hitter in the bottom of the 8th inning, stays in the ball game to play center field, and center fielder Willie Blomquist comes in to play shortstop. And the new pitcher is left-hander Eddie Guardado, making only his 2nd appearance of the year, Red.
Yeah, he came in the ball game the other day and had a big lead, and he was laughing about it the next day. He says, you know, every time it seems like you come into a big league, you have a rough time getting outs. He said, I'd rather come into a game where there's a 2 or 3 run lead, and that's it.
Here is Frank Thomas to lead things off, and now he comes into a ball game down by 3.
Well, he's got to get him some work.
And that's why Eddie is in there to face Thomas, Bradley, and Payton.
And over the years, Frank Thomas has worn Guardado out. He is 7 for 12 with 3 home runs. .583 batting average against Eddie.
And it's up and away for ball 2, 2-1. Eddie relies on that 88-mile-an-hour fastball down and away to a right-handed hitter. He's got to have that pitch in that location. And Eddie threw 41 or 42 pitches in that first outing in the 9th inning against the Angels. Fly ball deep into right field. Ichiro to the track, to the wall, and he's there to make the catch. Just enough room in front of that Boeing sign to make the grab. One away for the A's here in the 9th. Brings up Milton Bradley. But Eddie had that rough time in the 9th inning. It was a 10-5 lead, gave up 3 runs in the 9th inning to the Angels, but the Mariners eventually won the game by a score of 10-8 as Eddie eventually got the 3 outs. Bradley with a check swing foul on the third base side in the count 0-1. Low and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. 37,904 tonight. Game 3 of the 4-game series, and a chance to honor Dan Wilson, who retired after last year. Ball 2, 2-1. Bernardo 36 saves last year, 42 opportunities. To make it 3-1 on Bradley. Rafael Soriano, 2 1/3 innings of scoreless relief. Full count, 3-2. Did not give up a hit, Red.
Well, he had another good outing. Bring him along slowly. His arm's getting stronger. It generally takes a year, year and a half after surgery to have your arm develop any kind of strength, and he's throwing the ball 92, 93 miles an hour. Before surgery, he was at 95, 96, so it'll take a while for him to get that full strength back.
And strike 3 called at the knees. Eddie Guardado with that fastball striking out Milton Bradley, and 2 outs for the A's here in the 9th.
Take a look at that last pitch. Is that high enough? Yes, it was. And Bradley knew it, too.
So 2 up and 2 down, and here's left fielder Jay Payton. In the bottom of the 9th inning, the Mariners to send up Lopez, Ibanez, and Sexton. Ball 1. Payton 0 for 5 against Eddie. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Fouled away, 1-1. Houston Street, the A's closer, warming up down in the bullpen. Street, last year's American League Rookie of the Year, also was a member of Team USA at the World Baseball Classic. Popped up in behind first base, foul territory. A lot of room for Richie Sexton, who's there and makes the catch for out number 3. And we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last try for the Mariners. It's the A's 3 and the Mariners nothing.
Mine's got a window.
Mine too.
Business travelers, we got you something. Southwest has new leather seats and roomier cabins for more comfortable flights.
I love leather.
You are now free to move about the country.
Championship poker is huge right now. As your agent, I say you do it. Cut.
What you got, blue boy?
I guess you do play poker.
At the John L. Scott Foundation, our priority is funding children's health care in every community we serve. To us, there's no greater need than having all kids get the best medical care. At John L. Scott Real Estate, we want to see them healthy, and at home.
The John L. Scott Real Estate Foundation, making miracles happen.
3-0 A's, bottom of the 9th inning here at Safeco Field. Now it's time to shift to the Nissan in-game box score. And the Mariners have only one hit in the first 8 innings. And that was a leadoff double by Richie Sexton-Red back in the bottom half of the second. That's been it.
And you know what? That ball hit off the glove of M.Kotsay. He almost made a fabulous catch.
You're right.
But the ball did hit his glove. And, yeah, it was a double. No question about that. But that's the only thing that the Mariners can do. Take a look at the numbers for Houston Street. Has a record of 1-0. And he has yet to pick up a save this year. There are the other numbers. But it's early in the season, and he will be facing Lopez, Ibanez, and Sexton. And hopefully, Beltre, Everett, and J.Moyer will have a chance to come to play.
Just a couple of years ago, that kid was pitching at the University of Texas. And with the injury to Octavio Dotel, I was talking with manager Ken Marcus. Said, what was the decision like to get him into that closer role as a rookie? He says, well, we just kind of tried to ease him into it. And eventually, the kid wasn't afraid of anything or anybody. And did a good job as the closer last year. Here's Jose Lopez to lead things off 0 for 2 last year against Street. At the knees for a strike, 0-1.
Well, the one thing that Marcus said that kind of helped him along to make that decision was the fact is that he generally has very good control. He doesn't walk very many hitters.
And it's up and away for ball 1, 1-1. Lopez trying to get something going against Street now. Zito, Calero, Kennedy even the game scoreless with only 1 hit. Lopez, Ibanez, and Sexton to bat here in the 9th. Followed by Beltre, Everett. Ball 2, 2-1. Fouled away by Lopez, and the count goes to 2-2. Fouled off for catcher Jason Kendall. Houston Street's father, James Street, quarterback at the University of Texas, leading the Texas Longhorns to a football title, NCAA title back in 1969. James Street, his dad. Low ball 3, full count, 3-2 on Lopez. Mariners need some base runners. They haven't had that many at all tonight. And on deck, Ibanez.
See Raul down there preparing his bat, putting that stickum on the bat. Getting ready. Make sure the gloves are right.
Line drive the other way, foul, and it's still 3-2. The Mariners have had only 4 base runners tonight. As we mentioned, they doubled by Sexton. 2 hit batters, J.Moyer and Bloomquist, back-to-back in the 5th, then a walk to Bloomquist in the 8th, and that's been it. And a swing and a foul tip into Kendall's glove for strike 3. 1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 3-0 A's. And here's Raul Ibanez. Ibanez 2 out of 4 against Street. Ball 1. Goes off the circle to go to his mouth. If you're in the circle, you charge with the ball. And a strike up and away, and Ibanez 1-1. Two and 1. Oakland last year gave it a pretty good run trying to catch up to the Angels at the end of the year, but they had some injuries late in the season. Outside, ball 3, 3-1.
Well, they had a pretty good run there just before the end of the season. The last week is when they faltered and they dropped to 7 games back. But they were within a couple of games there late in the season.
And a swing and a miss at a fastball, full count 3-2. You see that?
I don't know that he's on the rubber.
He probably gets off the rubber. He's on the rubber, then goes into the windup, and that right foot goes really to the first base side of the rubber.
I don't think he touches the rubber. Look at this. Is he?
Fly ball left field. Payton is there, backing up just a few steps to make the catch, and the Mariners are down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Mariners were shut out last night 5-0, and they trail 3-0 now with 2 outs here in the 9th.
You know, you don't have to have your entire foot touching the rubber.
I think that toe.
But I'm not too sure that his toes even touching it.
Well, here's the guy who has the only hit tonight for the Mariners, Richie Sexson, with a double to center field. Just off the glove of M.Kotsay, right up against the wall to try to make that catch. Oh, and 1. Bumps in a first pitch strike at the knees. Well hit deep to right field. Down the line, this one is a foul ball. It had plenty of distance down that right field line, but the first base umpire, Jeff Kellogg, going down the line to survey it. Foul ball, and they count 0-2 on Richie Sexson.
When Richie hit this ball, there's no doubt about the thing leaving the yard. The only thing is it going to stay fair? And going the other way, you can see the ball just slicing. And how close was it? Gee, just about a foot or so.
0-2 on Richie. And a swing and a miss for strike 3, and the ball game is over, and the Oakland Athletics blanked the Mariners in back-to-back games, winning last night 5-0, and tonight a final score of 3-0. We'll be back with more from Safeco Field right after this timeout.
Now, this here, that's the drain plug. It lets the oil drain out into the pan. Remember,